gonna do a little bit of work in the high tunnel today. Today didn't go exactly as I planned. It doesn't always go as you plan on the homestead. Things pop up really in everything on the homestead, and life and work and your family, whatever it may be. Things don't always work out. Things pop up. Laid in bed last night thinking about what I was going to do today and about all the things that I need to get done on the homestead and the high tunnel. I am behind on things. I'm really disappointed in myself. I have some friends who have greenhouses and high tunnels who are already getting red, ripe tomatoes, and most of my tomato starts aren't even doing very well. I have done some things wrong. I'm trying to be as honest with you as possible on this channel, and those things that I've done wrong really make me feel kind of like a heel, like a failure, like I'm not doing things right, like I should be further along. But I think if you can make incremental changes, then you're doing really well. If you're a little bit better this year than you were last year, then that's great. I've got a lot more things done. I'm doing way better at this time this year than I did the previous year. I've got a lot of plans in place to do even more. But let's get over to the high tunnel. So if you can do it just a little bit every day on your garden and on things that need to be done, then you're doing really well. You will see how that just has compound interest and it pays off. I have been for a while now putting a bunch of compost up here. I don't know how well you can see that in the distance. I've got it kind of stacked really high here. Maybe in hindsight, I should have either pulled this drip tape up and put that on top, or I should have put some weed barrier down, like some cardboard or some really thick paper, some newspaper, things like that. But I didn't do that, but that's okay. This will choke that out. And I've got a little bit more to do over here, but I can go ahead and get started on this next row. All of this compost, I'll bring you just a little closer. All of this compost right here, it's got a lot of the wood and bark and things like that mixed in. It's got a lot of leaves and stuff like that that aren't fully composted yet. I could have sifted this and had a lot better quality compost, but these little pieces like this, they are going to break down over the years. And what I'm trying to do is build up the fertility of this area. So it's got rabbit poop, it's got chicken poop in there, and we have a fertilizer injector over here. We'll probably add a little bit of fertilizer as we go, just some organic stuff. This is all organic. This is all from the farm here. We're in the process of making a closed loop. I'm not going to put any weed barrier over here, but this next one we'll put some weed barrier up. That's kind of an experiment. I've never used it before. We'll see how it works, but I need to do a couple things before that, which is why I had you here to begin with. I'm going to put some black plastic. It's about 3 feet wide. Now, the bad thing about this is that you can probably only get a season or two out of it. I'll probably just end up taking it up the first season. This winter I'll take it up because I don't want it to break up into little pieces, and then I'm going to replace that as we go. Ultimately, I won't be using that in here at all. I'm just going to be building up the soil in here and getting rid of the weeds and so on and so forth. But this year, you got to start where you are. This year, I don't have enough compost because I wasn't buying any. I didn't buy any. I didn't find a really great source for it, stuff that I trusted. And I'm going to have enough on my own homestead eventually in this closed loop that I'm creating. There's a lot of compost down there. It's really thick. But before I can lay this down, I need to get this cut just a bit more, which is where this lawnmower that you might not be able to see. Can you see that or not? This is that blackmax lawnmower that I got from Walmart. I'm not going to bag this up. I'm just going to let it mulch out to the side. I have been bagging a lot of it up, creating more of this compost for the chickens to dig in and for all that poop and stuff to really get in there and to work as it breaks down. But first things first, let's mow this. One of the great things about this lawnmower, it has held true almost every time it starts on the first or second pull. So maybe it will this time as well. That went pretty well. I was thinking about going over it one more time at a lower setting, so I think I will go over it just one more time on both sides, maybe at a little lower level to get to this other. But the great thing is that I can leave all this in here and we'll cover this up, and whenever it gets hot, the sun will just roast all the seeds and all that stuff in there. And if I wait another week or so before I plant in there, then everything will be killed. And as far as the seeds that have been germinating, it won't last. It'll get so hot under there, and then I can poke holes and plant what I want. So I'm gonna do this one more time. think this is going to work just fine. As soon as I cover this, I'll just, poke holes in it, maybe put a little extra soil and stuff in there, and then, plant what I want down here, maybe some bush beans or some peas or something like that. I'm still experimenting. I do feel kind of like a failure in some ways, if I'm completely honest, but I am experimenting and I'm learning a great deal, and that's really very valuable. So let's get down this other end, which is where I'm going to start with the black plastic. So I've never used this black plastic before. One of the great things about it here in the high tunnel is there won't be quite as much wind. I'm going to put some wood chips on this end to hold this side. I don't know for sure. I haven't decided what I'm going to do elsewhere, but we'll see how this works. I might have to do something else and put some more wood chips or more compost or something on either side to hold it down. And then again, I'm going to rip that up at the end of the season so this doesn't break up into little bits. So you probably can't see it from this angle, but there's a little X right here that I put on here whenever I measured, whenever I first got the high tunnel. I put this one over here furthest. There's an X over here at 1 foot, then 5 foot, then 9 feet, 13 feet, 17, 21, 25, 29, and it's 30 foot wide. So that way I can put all the drip tapes 4 foot across. The only reason I pointed that out is because I want to keep this drip tape that's right here, it's underneath me, right here along with that. I'm going to try real hard to center this as much as I can right there where that X is. And before I roll it, I'm going to go outside and get some mulch and put on this so it'll keep it held right in place. So let me go get that. So my only goal with this is to just keep the plastic held in spot. It's going to stay right here. I think this is enough to get it to hold right here in place. This is really thin. It's only 1 mil, so it's really thin stuff. It'll be easy to poke the holes in and maybe enough to keep it warm and to kill the seeds underneath there and to stop the weeds. So hopefully I won't have a hard time taking it up at the end of the year, but we'll see. Let's roll it out of here. You saw me pause a few times in there because I was thinking about ways to do this a little bit easier. 150 foot to roll this is not really nothing, and it's a little heavier than it looks. This 1 mil seems pretty thin, and if you can see behind me, it is kind of shaking in the wind a little bit like that. I've got this side of the high tunnel open and this side over here cracked. That way it gets plenty of ventilation and stuff like that. But it didn't move from this spot, so that worked really well. What I'll probably end up doing another time, I might go ahead and take that little tiller over here on either side of these rows and try to get enough so I can put on the side here. So if I can just loosen a little bit, and that tiller won't go very deep, so it's not gonna, compact the soil too much. If I can loosen just a little bit and put it over it, then that would be great. I don't have enough compost yet to put on top of the sides here. That would take quite a bit. Although I might be able to get just enough to put it over here to keep it from flapping like this. And we'll see what we do. I don't know for sure. If you like things like this is just what we're doing. They didn't go the way I wanted it to. There are several things I wanted to get done today. I wanted to get this completed. I wanted to get this other row over here completed. I need to move just a little bit more compost for that side. And I wanted to get some things planted in here, but didn't do that. I'm trying to be forthright with you. Things don't always work out, but I am showing you what we're doing. We do something almost every single day. We don't film everything because some things are things that we've done 100 times. We don't want to bore you. Boring is the enemy here. So keep coming back if you like this kind of stuff. We're growing things. We're raising animals. We have children. We have each other. We are loving what we're doing out here, and we love sharing it with you and love getting your feedback. So if you will, comment down below. Let me know if you like this or dislike it. Hit that thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do, but interact with it some way so we know what you're thinking. Until next time, thanks.